It is with great sense of joy and gratitude that we come together today for this Eucharist, for we celebrate all the saints in heaven. And tomorrow, our thoughts will turn towards our deceased sisters and brothers, as our church teaches, to the suffering church, to those in purgatory. And we, the militant church, those that are opposing evil, our evil desires within us and around us, are also here. And it was so wonderful to sing together, Lord, this is the people that longs to see your face. Saints in heaven, the triumphant church, saints in purgatory, the suffering church, and the saints on earth. I don't want to say the militant church, but the fighting church. And so we are together making our journey, making progress on this pilgrimage to God with one another. And this is one day when we remind ourselves that all of us are called to holiness, that the call to saintliness comes our way, no exceptions. You know, saints come to us in various shapes and sizes, in various age groups, from different countries and cultures, with different temperaments. There is, for example, Thomas Aquinas, a towering intellectual. And then we have St. John Vianney, our own patron, who could barely make his way out of his seminary studies. There is Joan of Arc, leading armies into fight with a battle cry. And there is St. Teresa of Little Flower, offering every act that she performed with love. Look at St. Albert the Great, a quirky scientist, half philosopher and half wizard. And as opposed to him, you have Hildegard of Bingen singing away, throwing flowers into the waters, madly in love with God. Or take, for example, John Cardinal Newman, an 89-year-old prolific writer, a profound theologian who turns out so much of literary works, all the time writing with a quilt pen. And a couple of weeks ago, one more was added to the communion of saints, Carlo Aquitas, a 15-year-old youngster who had his own website, the first millennial saint. Saints come to us in all sorts of shapes and sizes, in every possible age group, and from every country and culture. And the hidden message is that all of us are called to holiness. St. Augustine said it, if they did it, then why can't I? And that is the cry that we need to make our own. A word of encouragement from St. John Vianney, our own patron, who would say, not all the saints began well, but all of them ended well. There is hope for all of us. Every pencil has an eraser because all of us mess up, all of us make mistakes. And that is where the mercy of God leads us on and draws us unto himself. So at the end of the day, our holiness is not about us, but about God and what he does in us by his grace and how we cooperate with the grace of God. And to join us in this pilgrimage, in the spiritual journey, we have Lynn, Steve, and Val with us today, who will be received into the church and confirmed in the Spirit of the Lord and filled with the Holy Spirit. Let's walk with them. Let's teach them what we can. Let's learn from them. Let their fervor in us rub off us and let's together make this pilgrimage together to holiness, to saintliness. Because if you and I are not about becoming saints, then what on earth are we doing? God, who made the whole world for us, made us for himself. And realizing that, achieving that, accomplishing that is what we call holiness. And so, let's remind ourselves that all of us are called to holiness. We must become saints, and it is easy to become saints. Do little things with great love, and you are well on your way to holiness, to saintliness. Let's now pause for a while and pray for Val, Steve, and Lynn, that this journey that we together make will be for us the way we move towards God and towards holiness.